Radio WRVA, the voice of Virginia.
It's 7 o'clock. Rich has already studied the headlines, solved a few problems, ruffled a few feathers, and consumed more Diet Coke than most people drink all day. Richmond's Morning News with Rich Herrera. This is News Radio WRVA.
Hey, thanks for joining us, everybody. This is News Radio WRVA. My name is Rich Herrera. That, of course, is Super Dave with Gary Hess on, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 panes of glass away from me, I think is where he is. We appreciate you spending time with us, letting us be part of your morning on your way to work. I know some of you already have your kids that you're taking to school. Others of you are dreading next week that school is going to start. And the rest of you retired, so you don't really care. But more cars on the road next week, and we'll talk about that. I've made this commitment to talk about public safety and, in particular, pedestrian safety to Mayor Danny Avula. So we're going to follow back up with that next week on the program. Just remind people, slow down a little bit, give yourself a couple extra minutes, wake up a little bit earlier. Make sure you tune into Richmond's Morning News so I get you to work on time. We'll tell you where all the traffic dips are and how to get around them and get you to work in one piece safely. So, again, we remind everybody, either you listen to Richmond's Morning News or you play catch-up the rest of the day. Now, I do want to bring this story up because this is the big story of the day. There is a major development right now that Luigi Mangione is expected to plead guilty to federal charges of stalking today in a Manhattan courtroom. So, just to recap, and I haven't talked about this a lot on the program, but I want to bring this up right now for a reason. I'm watching what's going on with the accused assassin of Charlie Kirk. I'm watching what's going on with this accused assassin, Luigi Mangione. And there's something rather scary that I'm going to bring up with you right now that in some circles, he is a hero. There are people in this country right now that consider him to be a hero. I was talking with my son Rigney when he was here last week, and he told me, hey, Dad, in class, there are liberal progressives, Democratic Socialists of America that look at Luigi, and he goes, because he's a poli-sci major, so he has a lot of these kids in his class. He goes, they treat him like a hero. They're like, oh, he's so handsome. Oh, he's so brave. Oh, he's so this. Oh, he's so that. And they absolutely fawn over him. College kids, high school kids call it simp. They completely simp over him. Oh, what a brave hero. And he said he had one girl in his class and she went on for 5 minutes about how he's a hero and we should all strive to be like him. This is that mind virus that's starting to take over Generation Z. So there's a couple things going on. So I want to bring this up just to bring it to your attention. So the major development this morning is that he is, of course, he's accused of gunning down and murdering United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Manhattan. And he's reportedly going to plead guilty to federal charges against him today for stalking. He had previously pleaded not guilty to both the federal and the New York State cases. Now, the New York State the state case went first before the federal. The federal court, the federal prosecutors were looking for the death penalty for him. Judge put that aside, so now he's facing life imprisonment. But here's where his defense attorneys, and I think he's playing games, that if he pleads guilty today in federal court, that will knock his state charges off the rails. He's accused of following Thompson to Manhattan, to a Manhattan hotel in December 2024, and he gunned him down. He shot him down like a coward from behind, shot him in the back because he's just walking down the street going there for a business conference. Now, the most serious charges were thrown out, meaning he no longer faces federal death penalty charges, but he could spend the rest of his life in prison. After today's plea, it could delay his separate New York murder trials currently scheduled to begin September 8th. Now they're playing games the whole way through, and I get if you get a defense attorney, they need to defend you with everything they have, and they're not looking for fairness. They're looking to defend with every bit of their moxie the person who's on trial, whether they're innocent or guilty. That's their job. I get it, but you look at what these people have been doing on the defense side, and you look what Luigi's been doing on the defense side. They're trying to get the case. It's interesting. 2 different cases. One of Mangione, one of the accused killer of Charlie Kirk. Erica Kirk wants to have that entire thing put out there. She wants the world to see what this person did to her family, made her kids orphans on their dad's side. She wants it all out there. On the other side, the Mangione people, Mangione, I've heard it's pronounced 2 different ways, so don't yell at me how I'm pronouncing it. They want to have this whole thing streamed and put online, but they want to do it for a different reason. Erica Kirk wants justice, and she wants everybody to see what happened to her family. Mangione wants it put out there online because it will feed these seriously flawed individuals that are fawning over him, that are simping over him, that show up in court before the courthouse dressed up in Luigi from Mario Brothers costumes in support of him because they somehow think that he's a hero for the proletariat. He's standing up to the system. He's standing up to a rigged system. If they put it out there with the streamers, it will, in the defense attorneys and their case, they think it'll bring sympathy and more supporters, and it will bring more kids thinking about him as a hero once they see this in court and they go, oh, look how the government's coming down on him. He was just simply standing up for the rest of us by taking on the evil insurance companies. Really interesting to watch these 2 cases of murder and assassination go on in the United States. One, in the Charlie Kirk trial of his murder, wanted all out there for everybody to see because it was absolutely grotesque, and that guy needs to have the book thrown at him. Mangione is looking for sympathy amongst the Democratic Socialists of America, the liberals, the progressives, the Marxists that want to fight against the system. Either way, he's playing one side against the other. And if he gets these federal charges and he pleads guilty to them, then that could, because New York has such different rules than the rest of the place around the country, expose him to double jeopardy, which could completely derail his New York trial. So it's something that we need to keep an eye on. There was reports all day yesterday that the feds were going to give him a plea deal. The feds said, we're not giving him a plea deal. Now, this is what he's charged with. He's already pled not guilty. He's going to go in there, according to reports, and plead guilty to that to ruin the state trial against him. But the feds are not going to give him a plea deal. So there's a lot of people, a lot of outrage yesterday. How dare you give him a plea deal? I don't want this guy to have a plea deal at all. I want him to go to trial, and I want everybody to see what he did, and I want him to be punished severely according to the law, because right now, as he's being held up as a hero on a lot of college campuses, by a lot of high school kids, by a lot of people online, by a lot of people on some of these streaming services and wherever these people are coming from, he needs to be exposed for the coward, the murderer, the assassin that he is. So I hope that the feds are not going to have a plea deal against him. I hope they charge him and prosecute him to the highest extent of the law. He's got rights. Respect those rights. He's innocent until proven guilty. But if they can prove him guilty in a court of law, throw the book at him and stop these people from looking at him as he's some kind of hero. And I was blown away when I heard that there are people that actually are out there looking at him as someone to admire and look up to, when he was a coward who shot someone he didn't even know in the back and then ran. But he's standing over here getting rock star status treatment by a lot of people in this country, which is incredibly, deeply disturbing to me. You want to comment? I'll take your text messages. 833-804-1140. 833-804-1140. Let me remind everybody, a week from tomorrow, this weekend's race weekend. Tomorrow's the big NASCAR race. Next Saturday, I want you to come spend the afternoon with me. I'm going to be at Tom Leonard's, and this is completely me on my own. This isn't really a WRVA thing. This is me. We have these meetups where last year we'd get together. I'd say, hey, we're going to go to Capitol Hill House. I'll be out there after the show, or I'll be out there at noon, or I'll be out there in the afternoon. Come by. Let's talk. Tell me what's on your mind. Let's hang out, and just a chance to get to meet some of you that I see, that I hear from every day on the text line. You call in, or just get a chance to bump into a public. But I wanted to do a meetup where we could all get together and just, have a sense of community. This year, I decided I want to do something different. And my buddy TJ, and by the way, the place was packed yesterday, Dave, when I went to go see TJ and they were carving up those fillets, just packed out the door. I asked him if he could get me some tri-tip, and he goes, yeah, it's a sirloin cut that's really not, there's not a lot of demand for it outside of Central California. He said, get me some. And he says, I got a big grill. Let's do a tri-tip sandwich. Great. So a week from Saturday, I'm going to go to Tom Leonard's. I'm going to be out there myself. A couple buddies of mine are coming with me, and TJ is going to give me a couple of people to help out. I'm going to be grilling tri-tip. It's a sirloin cut. I cut it across the grain, put it on a roll with butter and garlic that's toasted. If you want, you can put salsa on it. It is absolutely delicious. The only place they really do it is in Central California, right on the coast, but I'm going to bring that here to Richmond. My buddies at River City Wranglers are going to come out. They're going to bring some of their Jeeps to display. So if you're out shopping that day, or you want to come have lunch with me, we'll be selling the sandwiches, and the proceeds that we're going to get from that day are going to go to Reeves Across America, so we can make sure that we have Reeves for every serviceman and women that are buried in our national cemetery here in Richmond. So I want you to come out, have a sandwich with me. It's going to be great, and then we'll raise money for a great cause. So that's on Saturday, August 22nd. Saturday, August 22nd at Tom Leonard's, West End in Short Pump. All right. Coming up on the program, we've got a lot more. Comedian Greg Warren's going to be joining us. He's coming to the Funny Bone, and George Allen joins us as well, all right here on News Radio WRVA.